In this episode of Filmmaking Insights, we'll dive into the complex and often frustrating realities faced by independent filmmakers today. It's a challenging time for the industry, as shifting dynamics, financial hurdles, and relentless competition make it increasingly difficult to fund, produce, and distribute films. For many filmmakers, years are spent seeking funding, only to face rejection or struggle to bring projects to completion. Why is this the case, and what can aspiring creators do to navigate this difficult landscape? One of the largest barriers for independent filmmakers is the persistent struggle to secure funding. The average production budget for an indie film ranges from $2 million to $10 million, while micro-budget films may require $250,000 or less. Despite these comparatively lower costs, most filmmakers find it exceedingly difficult to access even modest financial resources. This stems largely from how major streaming platforms like Netflix, Amazon, and Disney Plus now prioritize their in-house productions, leaving little room for external pitches. Only 2–3% of Netflix's annual budget, for example, is allocated to acquiring independent films. This isolation of indie filmmakers from major players creates a bottleneck that limits the opportunities for new voices to break through. Investors, too, are increasingly risk-averse. Film has always been seen as a high-stakes gamble, but the odds of a return on investment in independent filmmaking are particularly slim. According to Forbes, 90% of indie films fail to turn a profit, making it hard to convince potential backers to take a chance. Without bankable stars or intellectual property to draw audiences, indie films often lack the marketable elements that make them attractive to distributors or financiers. The challenges don't end with funding. Even if a film gets made, capturing audience attention is another uphill battle. Today's media consumers are saturated with short-form content like TikTok videos and YouTube Shorts, which demand only 30–60 seconds of attention. This poses a stark contrast to the 90+ minutes required for a feature film. A Statista Global Media survey from 2023 found that traditional media consumption has declined by 12% over the past 5 years, while short-form video consumption has grown by 21% annually. For indie filmmakers, this means their projects not only need to compete with blockbuster films but also with a flood of social media distractions. Marketing, often the lifeblood of a film's success, is another area where indie filmmakers face major disadvantages. Marketing budgets for indie films rarely exceed $100,000, while studio films can spend millions. For example, the low-budget Paranormal Activity spent $350,000 on marketing despite a $15,000 production cost, and Joker devoted $120 million to marketing against a $55 million production budget. Indie films simply don't have the financial muscle to gain significant visibility, leaving them to rely heavily on word-of-mouth, grassroots campaigns, or social media, areas where success is far from guaranteed. Casting is another contentious issue. Traditionally, the inclusion of well-known actors was seen as a key to attracting audiences. However, the dynamic is shifting. Legacy stars from the 1980s and 1990s are often cast in films to draw on nostalgia, but their appeal is not as enduring as it once was. Films featuring older stars see an initial bump in audience interest, about 15–20% higher engagement, according to Box Office Mojo, but this doesn't always translate into long-term profitability. Moreover, the rise of streaming platforms has prioritized genres and content themes over individual star power. Parrot Analytics notes that films driven by social media influencers or genre-specific hooks frequently outperform those headlined by aging stars, further reducing the viability of traditional casting strategies for indie films. For those who manage to release their films, revenue generation remains an uncertain prospect. Platforms like Amazon Prime Video offer a sobering reality: 80% of indie films earn less than $500 per month in rentals. Only 1% of these films achieve breakout status, defined as earning more than $50,000 in their first year on streaming services. While crowdfunding platforms like Kickstarter and Indiegogo offer some hope, with over $1 billion raised for film projects to date, only 37% of campaigns successfully meet their funding goals. Even then, the funds raised are often not enough to fully realize a filmmaker's vision. The truth is, every film project operates like a startup. Seed funding usually comes from personal savings, family, and friends, as more formal sources of financing are rarely accessible to newcomers. Building a network is crucial, but it requires significant effort and financial investment. Attending festivals like Sundance or the American Film Market, AFM, can open doors, but these opportunities come at a cost, with attendance averaging $5,000 to $10,000 per event. Community building through social media and crowdfunding is also essential, as it allows filmmakers to create a loyal fan base that can support their projects from conception to release. The perception that filmmaking is a dying art form is understandable given the saturation of the market and the high barriers to entry. While the industry as a whole is not dying, it is undoubtedly evolving. Emerging technologies like artificial intelligence and virtual production offer ways to reduce costs and streamline workflows, but these tools are not yet widely accessible to most indie filmmakers. iTools, for instance, can cut pre-production costs by 30–50%, and virtual production techniques, such as those used in The Mandalorian, offer significant savings on location shooting. Alternative revenue streams also provide some hope. Merchandise, licensing deals, and even NFTs can supplement traditional box office or streaming revenues. Additionally, global markets like China, India, and Nollywood in Nigeria offer growing opportunities for distribution and collaboration. Despite all these challenges, there are pathways to success for indie filmmakers willing to adapt and innovate. Micro-budget filmmaking, where creativity and storytelling take precedence over big budgets, is one promising avenue. Films like Blair Witch Project, $60,000 budget, $248 million gross, and Clerks, $27,575 budget, $3.2 million gross, demonstrate the power of ingenuity and resourcefulness. Crowdfunding, while not foolproof, provides a way to engage directly with audiences and generate initial funds. Marketing through free or low-cost channels like social media can help build grassroots support, and collaborating with other creators can pool resources and increase visibility. Filmmaking may not solve humanity's most pressing problems, but its value as an art form that entertains, educates, and inspires remains significant. The business is undeniably a gamble, but for those with the passion, resilience, and adaptability to navigate its complexities, the rewards, both artistic and financial, can still be worth pursuing. Make sure to subscribe to our channel and visit our website at 4D Legacy Studios for more insights, tips, and resources to help you bring your creative vision to life. Stay inspired and keep creating.